Hi Year 4, so we are at the end of this Matisse project today, and what we're going to create is we're going to create a patterned tile. Now, I would have liked to have you guys to have created this in clay, because that's normally my outcome. However, we're just going to have to do a drawing of what we could have made in clay to complete this. So last lesson you did lots of different types of patterns. What I'm now going to show you is how we use those patterns to create a patterned tile. We're going to draw out a square on our page and give it a title. Then I'll show you how we start drawing our outlines. Here it is. So what I've done is I've put on the top here, I've got patterned tile, and then I've created a square, and you can see my square just fits quite nicely on my A4 page. It is 18 centimetres by 18 centimetres. So first of all you're going to need to do is to draw out a square that's 18 centimetres square, and then I'll show you some images on my document of how pattern tiles are created, but basically a pattern, like we've seen with the patterns on a line, if I actually show you here. So we know with the pattern that we did last week that it repeats. Now when you go into a square, it changes slightly because you've got corners. So for example, you might want to put an outline in each corner to start with, and then you might want to put something in the middle. You could then have a pattern in between. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off and show you a few details that you could do, but I'm not going to finish mine because for me this is a bit of a final piece, so I'd really like to see what you can create, but I'll give you a bit of guidance. I'll do a little bit of drawing, a little bit of colouring, and then I will leave the rest up to you. But what I would like you guys to do is to not copy mine, but to show me your creativity and originality, and show me a very interesting nature-inspired patterned tile. But I will show you at the start and then I will let you guys finish. So I've just added in my leaf, and what I've done is I've used my green leaf here, and I've turned it upside down when I've drawn it, which you can see here. Now it's not a perfect copy, I'm aware of that, so I need to improve that. I wanted to show you the method, so I turned it upside down and I had the point, or the stalk of the leaf pointing into the centre of the tile. Then as I drew it, I turned my paper around so I could always see it at the right angle. So if you find that helpful, please do that, because I think it's quite effective with them all pointing in, even though I know that some of the leaves need a little bit of improvement, but they all look quite similar. And sadly, with that tracing paper, it's very hard to make a complete exact copy. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to add something to the centre. I maybe go for an outline of an animal or a flower, and then I'll add in a little pattern in between to show you how that would build up. And a bit more now, Year 4. This one here, I've done a kind of double. This one was my dandelion here on my patterns, and I've done one way, and I've turned the paper upside down, draw on the other way. I've then finished off the spaces around the side with 2 mushrooms or 2 toadstools and a spider, and every time I've drawn it I've turned my paper around to help it be easier for me to draw. So I think to draw upside down I probably could do it, but I don't want to make it too tricky on myself. I've then got some space here around the edge which I could definitely add in something small, maybe a caterpillar, maybe some different leaves or some Matisse-like shapes. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop here, because like I said, I'm very aware that I want to see what you're going to create and I want to see your style. So I'll colour in half of my tile just to emphasise how we colour, and I'll finish off my title. What I'll then do is I'll have the Word document with a few examples of patterned tiles, just general ones, and then I'll also give you a success checklist to ensure that you can achieve the best outcome possible. Here we go, Year 4. So I have coloured in half. I definitely, if this was finished, would need to have something, maybe a couple of things here in this space. I've done my title as well, but I'm hoping that gives you a good idea of what you could do. One thing I have noticed, I don't know if you have, but I've done really Christmassy colours, not intentional at all. So I think what I would do in this section here is add in a bit of blue or orange, just to make it look a little bit less Christmassy, because it's not meant to be a Christmas tile. As always, please send me a photo if you would like some feedback. and use the success checklist to make sure you have achieved the best you can. And I look forward to seeing these. Thank you very much.